Hey everybody, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story that I want to bring you. It's not that long, but it's really important. I don't know if you understand or know who Hal Turner is. If you don't, look him up. I've spoken about him and shared a couple of stories on this channel that he shared in the past. But he's, someone that you should pay attention to. He's an alternative source, I will say that, but he has info a lot of times that other people don't have. So I pay attention to what he is talking about a lot of the time. And this particular story piqued my interest because I haven't seen it anyplace else. So the story says Intel, institutional kitchens being warned have food stored for a 10-day disruption in the supply chain. And this was posted on his site on May the 30th, 2023. So let's get into it. So it says institutions like hospitals, jails, prisons, etc., were told casually 3 weeks ago they should probably have enough food on hand to get through a 10-day disruption of supply chains. Few thought much of that. Then today, they are being explicitly warned to make sure you have enough food to get through a 10-day supply chain outage. The warnings are coming down from vendors and now from government. It's not a suggestion anymore, it is a mandate. They're being told, do this, make sure it's done. Hospitals and institutions like prisons, jails, and the like have populations that cannot simply go elsewhere and find food. So having the food would be essential if someone knows there's definitely a major disruption to supply chains coming. Now, on its face, there's nothing going on at the moment that might even give rise to a hint of supply chain disruption. Never mind specifically for 10 days, unless the NATO exercise in Europe from June the 12th through June the 24th near the Ukraine conflict goes hot. And there is some type of massive exchange with Russia as reported here today. So there's a link to something that's going on. Also, the dam was blown up, and so a lot of Crimea, which was an annex that was a part of Ukraine that Russia took back, was flooded. So if you're keeping up with what's going on over there, plus troops have moved closer to the Russian border, Russia has been getting bombed. Moscow has. Allegedly, there have been some assassination attempts against P. Daddy. So, anything could happen. We just don't know. There are threats apparently of um, things that are supposed to happen here sometime, you know, over the next 6 months. I'll just say that. Rumors. So, you should pay attention to these types of notices in addition to paying attention to how things are stocked in your store. Pay attention to shelves, whether this, things are being fronted. Pay attention to gaps. Pay attention to the produce, not just the cost, but are the things fresh? Are there a lot of different types of things missing? Uh, just pay attention because those are all, data points that you can use to determine if something is, possibly coming down the pipe in your area or there that you notice that there's lighter stocking happening in your area. And so when you see that, it means that you need to put back things so that you'll be ready for, whatever, whenever something happens. So it says if the powers that be already know there's going to be some type of wild weasel situation between NATO and Russia, then it would be in the interest of the powers that be to cover their butts and make certain their institutions have food supplies in advance. And so when they say their institutions, you're talking about hospitals, prisons, and jails. Those are the ways that they're going to make profit over the next couple of years because people are going to be sick and you're going to have to go to the hospitals to get their solutions. Institutions like jails and prisons, a lot of these places now are for profit institutions. And so when there's an incentive to lock up people, and those people who are locked up, they work for free. So they not only do government stuff, they put together computers. They train. They do government work, maintaining the highways, so to make license plates. So there's an incentive to make sure their free health is is taken care of, at least at the bare minimum. Common sense tells us that these institutions wouldn't be getting this warning nationwide in the US unless this supply chain disruption was in fact going to affect the entire nation. What else but a big exchange between NATO and Russia could affect the entire nation? If government is now telling hospitals and other institutions to make sure they have enough food to get through a 10-day supply chain disruption, then maybe you and I should take heed and make sure we have food too. In fact, seems to me that we should make sure we have a lot more than 10 days supply. Of course, we only have so much space to store food and only so much money we can throw at the project without knowing better details. But I strongly recommend to my readers of this website take heed and take action now while you still can. And I agree with that. I know I've been traveling out of town for the last couple of days, and I went to stores and compared to the prices of things here at home where I live are relatively, I didn't, some things are fair, a lot of things are fair priced, even with inflation. But I found myself in the city not wanting to buy anything. Lunch was more expensive, dinner is more expensive. A bag of potato chips is $6 and $8. Uh, it's just insane. I don't know how people live there, but the prices of food, are just basic essentials, are going up. I went to go get some medicine for my allergies. It was double the price of allergy medicine here. Literally double the price. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'm just going to have a runny nose because I just can't pay that kind of money for something that I know it really isn't that expensive, or I've seen it cheaper elsewhere. Why is it so expensive here? So that really annoyed me. But I just wanted to share this story with you because clearly there are some things going on, and I know we can't be in all places at all times. But when I get a story like this, I'm going to share it because um, our people ain't talking about it. You know, I'm going to just keep it a buck. Black people ain't hardly talking about nothing that we need to be talking about. And thus far, I can say we have not really been engaged the way that we should be. So, with that said, these warnings, if I can take this intel from someplace else and share it with my community, I plan on doing so because I want us to, as many of us as possible, to be well. And I understand that this war is escalating with this NATO exercise. Ain't no telling what's going to pop off. Then you got the stuff going on in Iran, between Iran and Israel. Um, it's just a lot of stuff going on all over the place. So just understand that these people have an agenda and they have a timeline. If you know anything about uh, smart logic models or smart plans, these people have plans for everything that they want to do. You need to get your stuff wrapped up because it seems as though they're getting ready to hit the gas. And when they do, you don't want to be caught off guard. So, with that said, please have at least a month's worth of stuff stored up to eat. You really need more than that. You need more than that as far as water and food. You see what's going on with the smoke coming from Canada. Rivers are drying up in the nation, and a lot of them have contaminated water. Um, Wells are drying up. People's well water is drying up. They have a drought in the Midwest. A lot of the vegetation that is supposed to be for fall harvest is already dying because it's so hot and we haven't had that much rain. I have been having to go outside and water my garden because we have barely had any rain this spring. So there's definitely something happening um, in the natural and in the spiritual. Just be aware and don't be caught off guard. All right, y'all. Use this as a data point, not to be fearful, but to make preparations. That's all this information is for. It is to make preparations. Continue to pray, continue to prep, continue to seek the Most High for guidance and wisdom during these trying times. Pray that our folks wake up so that they can cry out for the Most High so that He can deliver us from all this evil. And have grace for people. We all weren't awakened at one time, and I have to tell myself this frequently. It's okay to vent and be frustrated, but just remember you weren't always awakened. I wasn't always awakened, and so try to be patient and mindful. Practice mindfulness. All right, y'all, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. This is Marley K, and I'm out.